Today I wanted to talk about this absolutely insane situation I found that's gotta be one of the biggest wastes of money I've seen too. If you've never heard of a cruise ship, then I don't know where you've been ostriching and hiding your head in the sand, but basically it's a ginormous, huge boat that you and the family can stay on for a couple days on vacation. And after the pandemic, the demand for those insanely dropped. People didn't really want to be on a boat contained with a bunch of other people during the pandemic. And the company that was building the world's biggest cruise ship in history is going to have to scrap the world's biggest cruise ship before it even goes on its maiden voyage. Yeah, that's right. They spent millions and millions building it, and now they're just gonna throw it away. I just thought it was insane, something you guys would enjoy, so without further ado, let's get into it. World's biggest cruise ship has no buyer, and its first voyage may be to the scrapyard. See, what I don't understand is how these ships and commissioning them works. Why would you build the world's biggest cruise ship if you don't have a buyer for the world's biggest cruise ship? I'm just saying, that's an absolute crap ton of money and time and resources to dedicate to building this insanely large boat. I think the world's largest cruise ship could basically be compared better to a floating city than it could a boat. These things are absolutely massive, and they were like, alright guys, let's just throw one together and hope for the best. I don't think there's a ton of people rolling around that are just on the lookout for a cruise ship all the time. Especially now, cruises literally got body slammed by the pandemic. They took that entire industry, picked it up, spun it over their head a few times like some sick wrestling move, and then dropped it onto their knee while kneeing them in the back. Just an insane WWE wrestling move has been done to the cruise industry. So I can't say I'm surprised at all that no one wants to buy it. Think about all the big cruise companies, Carnival, Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, all that stuff. I don't think they've been killing it for the last 2 years. I don't think they're flush with cash, not to mention the entire economy is doing the implosion maneuver. An unfinished megaliner that was going to be the world's biggest cruise ship by capacity is sitting in a German shipyard waiting to be scrapped because bankruptcy administrators can't find a buyer, according to Cruise Industry Magazine and Board. The lower hull of the liner, known as the Global Dream 2, the second global class vessel from insolvent MV Werften shipyard in Germany's Baltic coast, is to be disposed of at scrap price. On Board reported, citing insolvency administrator Christoph Morgan. Machinery and much of the equipment which had already been delivered are to be sold, and the German magazine cited Morgan as saying that at a press conference on Friday. I'm just saying, I'm not surprised that this company ended up going bankrupt. They built this ship with no buyer, right? And then ordered all the machinery and equipment before the boat was even done. I know they probably had to have the engine and whatnot while they're building the ship to put it in, but they really bought all the dishwashers and everything. That's so funny, dude. 10 things that you didn't have to buy but you had to buy. Do you think they went to the boss? They're like, we are literally running out of money. We cannot afford to keep this ship going. He's like, yeah, money shmoney. We just gotta finish the boat and someone will buy it. They're like, no, you don't understand. The boat is 25% done and we're out of money. Well, can it float? I mean, technically, yeah. Then I guess we're good. Because once this baby floats, everyone's gonna want to ride on the global class vessel. Tell me that doesn't sound sick. Sir, it does sound sick, but we gotta have money to finish it. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, just build the boat. Imagine being in a situation where you're the bank that loaned money to this guy to build this insane ship. He goes bankrupt, you take it back, and no one wants to buy it. You're gonna have to fire the guy that gave out that loan. This is basically what happened in 2008 with all the houses, but just on a cruise ship scale now instead. Morgan's focus is now on its sister ship, the Global Dream, which is ready to float in the dock in Wismar, northern Germany, the magazine said. Werften, Wismar's shipyard, was sold to AG Kiel-based naval unit, which plans to build military vessels there from 2024 amid rising tensions following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. ThyssenKrupp Marine Systems wants the large dock to be available by the end of 2023, it said. Both of the ships were initially commissioned by Asia-based Dream Cruises, which collapsed along with its parent company, Genting Hong Kong, earlier this year after the COVID-19 pandemic scapped demand for cruises. Alright, so the sister ship is still being worked on in that port that they sold, right? But now that it's owned by a military company, hear me out. I'm just saying, since they're gonna be building Navy vessels anyways, what if they convert the other one, the one that's not ready yet, into a military vessel? Like, tell me that would not be intimidating. I know compared to an aircraft carrier or something, I don't think its usefulness would be on 11. But imagine just like strapping Halo Gauss cannons to the biggest cruise ship in the world and then just sailing it somewhere. Pretty intimidating, you know? Some guy on a fishing vessel's just trying to mind his business. Here comes the United States super cruiser USS, I don't know, whatever, someone important from American history that we could name the boat after, Ronald McDonald. I think that would be sick. Nothing would be more American than having a military cruise ship, you know? Like, it just combines everything that America enjoys. Freedom, vacations, and having a very big military. It could be the ultimate representation of American culture. You know how, like, long the line would be to try to get stationed on that boat? Oh yeah, where are you stationed? The world's biggest cruise ship that's been converted, but they kept the bowling alleys, trust me, it was pretty cool. And at least that last little bit tells us it was commissioned. I really thought they just decided to build two of the world's biggest cruise ship without a buyer. I'm not surprised that they ended up going bankrupt, like most of the cruise companies have been on the borderline of bankruptcy, pretty close, or have like filed a form of bankruptcy. So, yeah, just mad unfortunate on the timing to get caught building the world's two biggest ships, and then all this happens. Global Dream could be towed to any location in the world by ocean-going tugs, the magazine said. If no serious buyer is found in the coming weeks, it'll start the bidding process, which would allow ship brokers with contracts to maritime scrapyards to submit the bids. German cruise ship builder Meyer Werft could help finish the Global Dream, after which the liner would be mothballed due to the current lack of buyers, they reported this week. I have no clue how ship scrapping works. I don't know if it's like 100% mandated that they scrap it, but hear me out. What prevents a scrapping company from kind of just keeping it and finishing it themselves? No guys, trust me, we will totally scrap this. There will be nothing left. They're like, all right, we'll accept your bid. Next thing you know, there's just the definitely not Global Dream that gets released, and it's the world's not biggest cruise ship. Definitely not the Global Dream. Please don't look into it. And they're like, wow, that's kind of a weird name. They just end up taking all the equipment and the practically finished boat and wrapping it up themselves. I'm sure the contracts prevent stuff like that from happening. If you scrap a boat though, like, can you use all the materials again, or is this literally a waste? I know it's a waste of their money. Like, I know the company's gonna have themselves a bad time, but can you, like, you know, use it all to make another boat? Or is it a situation where once the material's been used, you can scrap it, but it's not going to be used for the same thing again? I don't know how it works. I know with recycling, like, there's only so much they can really do, even if they were to try to recycle everything. And in that case, what a huge waste of everything. This is already a waste of money, but hopefully it's not just a giant waste of materials as well. Anyways, guys, I think that's gonna do it for the video. I just thought this story was crazy. Moral of the story, don't take on two insanely huge projects from a company that doesn't pay for it up front. And, yeah, just be on the lookout if you're a cruise ship fan. On that note, like the video, comment, subscribe. I try to post 2 videos a day on this channel, and I would really appreciate it. And, yeah, on that note, don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. I'm out. Peace.